Hi guys, when I bought this 2008 Honda Fit, the air conditioning wasn't working on it, and this is how I went about troubleshooting it. Well, here's your air conditioning button, and when it's pressed in, it's supposed to turn the little light on it green and tell you that it engages or whatever. So I would go ahead and I would turn it on, and it would turn green, and instantly the green light would go off, and I was like, what the heck is causing this? So I'll go outside here and I'll show you what I found out. Okay, your AC compressor is way down at the bottom of your engine there, and it's got, I believe it's got two wires coming out of it. One is just the ground. It's been a year since I fixed the issue or whatever, and then it had one wire coming out of it, and that is your power wire, and it just hooks into another connector. So I went underneath of the car there, and I turned on the AC, and I had the engine running and everything, and I hooked my voltmeter up to that wire, and it didn't have any voltage, and I was like, what the heck? So what I ended up doing is I went up to the battery here, and I hooked just a set of jumper cables onto there, and ran them down to underneath the car, and one of them I hooked up to ground or whatever. Well, actually, I don't think I even had to hook up to ground, because all that is a positive wire there. And I ran a little a jumper wire from the red on my booster cables to that down there. And sure as heck, when I turned on the AC, the compressor clutch kicked in. I was able to watch it spinning down here by the tire. So that told me that it was a compressor issue. I knew it was electrical, so I was like, it must be that electromagnetic clutch. And I was able to buy a whole new electromagnetic clutch there, and it came with the new clutch, the new AC clutch, along with the electromagnet, and I think it was $50 in parts, brand new, on eBay, and I was just able to pull that off of there and put that back on there. And then I went to go fire up the car, and hooked all the wires back up, and it still would not kick in. But before I did that, though, like I said, I did leave the jumper cables hooked up just to make sure that it would engage, and sure as heck the electromagnetic clutch did engage. So I was like, well, it must be low on refrigerant. When the system pressure is too low, then it'll just kick itself off. It won't let the AC run. So that's what the issue was there. And I didn't want to risk, wasting any expensive refrigerant on the car. So I went ahead and I was like, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to see if I can fill up the system with shop air and spray Windex on all the fittings. And I'll show you what I did there. Grab all the tooling. Let's see here. Here it is. These here are the items I got. I had my old, whatever, $20 refill kit you buy at Walmart for refilling your AC when it's low. And then on my air compressor, this is the air compressor I have, just a little pancake one for like construction. It's only 3 gallons. That way I can just carry it around pretty easy. But I have this chuck on it here, and there, that seals up good. But even though they're the same size fitting between that one and that one, you'll see that this one here has a longer shaft here. So this one lets air leak out. So I went ahead and I took this, I screwed this out of here, and I went ahead and I hooked that end into there. And like I said, this here is just open threads here. And I went ahead and let's see, what did how did I do that there? Yeah, I got to think about this here, you guys. But yeah, and then this side here, I went ahead and I hooked into the low pressure side on the car, and which the low pressure side is right here, and it has an L on the car there. So all right, where's that air hose here? Oh, I fitted this one up in here. It was okay. Now I remember how I did it. Okay. I got 2 of these here, and then I had like a butt connector to connect 2 of them. So I had 2 males there. And I connected 1 male into, let's see around here. No. That's not how I did it. Okay. This end here has threads. So, like I said, okay, this end here I hooked into the low pressure line on the car. And then this end here has threads on it. So I hooked the threads, screwed these threads here into there, not very tight, because you would cross thread it. They're not the same threads. And then I hooked the air line onto there. And I went ahead and I started the AC to get it running. And I actually, like I said, I had to leave the booster cables on there because the computer would keep telling it to kick out. So that way I just made sure that I manually had power going straight from the battery directly that power wire on the AC compressor. And I just watched until I just got into the green on here. Well, actually I probably got maybe a ways into the green. And I went ahead and shut off the car. And I unhooked that too from the low pressure line, just so no air would leak out of there. That way I had air in the system. And I carried the little pancake air compressor to the other side of the house, just so I wouldn't have any noise of hearing that thing leak. And I went all around on that car, spraying all the fittings and everywhere on the AC system, looking for leaks and everything. And I was crawling around under there. And I got my ears pretty darn close to the AC condenser, which it looks like a radiator, and it sits right in front of your actual radiator on your car. And I could hear hissing, and I knew instantly that a rock must have hit that AC condenser and caused it to spring a leak. And that's how I lost all my AC out of my car. That's where the leak was. So I went ahead and I was able to go on eBay, and I was able to buy a brand new AC condenser for like $78. And I replaced that. And then all I needed was a little, then after that, I shut off like I said, I had to make sure I had the car shut off when I did this. And I went ahead and I took a screwdriver here, and I let all of that air out. I pressed down on the little Schrader valve in there, and I let all like I said, all it had was air in it. It was no Freon, nothing like that. Let all that air out. And then I went ahead and I hooked up my AC gauge here with the lines. Up to the low pressure one, which is right there. And like I said, I had the jumper cables on, power directly to the AC compressor there. And so that made it run, and that allowed it to suck in Freon into the system until it just started to feel cold in the cab. You do it until you don't get greedy, because I've had that where you go ahead and you're like, man, it's not far enough into the green, or it's not quite cold enough. Don't get greedy like that. I went ahead and I just let it start feeling cool in the car, and I went ahead and I pulled off the thing here, and I called it good. And ever since then, it's been a year now since I fixed the AC, and it's worked good. But I didn't have to buy any of that. What is it that that where you have to wear the special glasses or whatever, the dye that you have to inject into the system or whatever. I didn't want to spend money on that entire kit, and like I said, this worked for me. So, all right, take care, bye.